to the Whiskey Roundtable. We are your hosts, Big G.
Karen Helen Keller.
Doug Dunbar, Whiskey Wizard.
All right.
April Fools.
Yes.
We had to
They
mix
probably got that.
Yeah, I think they picked up on that real quick.
Yeah.
Did you see?
Huh?
Did you see that article that they posted about Old Forester not doing any more single barrels?
Yeah.
I saw you.
They were
shared
against
that
single. They decided they were
They're
against
phasing
single
it out,
barrels,
yeah.
and all it was kind of a take on dating. They were trying to match up the barrels so they didn't have to be single anymore. It was fun.
It was cool. I read the whole thing.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't even read
They
it.
just need to find the right barrel for
And,
them.
and it's funny
it's
because
just-
when I started reading it, I was like, "Oh, you bastards!" Because that's like one of my favorites.
right
Yes,
when you
dude.
first
And
read
then
it,
I
it's
start
like,
reading. I start reading.
oh,
I'm like,
Forester's
oh,
not
okay.
doing single
Yeah.
barrels anymore.
I'm like,
basically.
what? Yeah, I collect Old Forester single barrels.
Yeah,
I
you're-
collect them.
Yeah, right.
And,
That's why I sent that to you. 'Cause
Buffalo Trace single barrels as well. I just scored two Buffalo Trace single barrels from Alabama.
All right.
Alabama.
Alabama.
So
Thank
it's
you, Mark
it's April
Anderson.
Fools, obviously, and welcome everybody. Greg, what show of the year?
We are on the 6th show.
the 9th show of the year.
That's what I said. 9th.
Surprising.
I just got my math
yeah.
wrong.
Just
That's
cut
all
it
good.
upside down.
You
That's
set
all.
it upside down.
I'm gonna
Turn it upside
We
down
haven't done it in a few weeks, so I'm gonna go through our list of sponsors: the Cleveland Bourbon Co-op, Royal Havana Cigars, Simply Greek, Low Imports, Roll and Smoke Barbecue, Chagrin Valley Beverage, 21 Stays North Coast Jazz Ensemble, and last but not least, Rawhide Firearms.
Firearms, exactly.
Yeah.
Where's Mark? How come? When's he going to do the show, man?
I don't know.
He's in love.
Yeah, we'll get him back on here.
Yeah.
No, I give it 6 months, then he'll be ready to do the show.
Yeah. Hey, any time with the girl for 6 months is a long time. Anyway, go ahead.
So I'm wearing my Royal Havana cigar
You
sweatshirt today. I love this thing.
Smoking
So
Royal
yeah.
Havana cigars.
Look at us.
Yeah. Where did you get that, by the way?
I
Royal
got
Havana.
that at Royal Havana Cigars.
Kmart.
All right. Well, we like Royal Havana. Yeah.
Although every time I wear it, I'm afraid someone's going to think I'm a Steelers fan because it's black and gold.
Oh.
I'm like, Royal Havana,
Oh.
Royal Havana. Anyway.
So, how was everybody's week?
Okay. No, yeah, it did go quick. And, you know,
It did, it was
once
fast.
you hit, I always find once I get out of February and into March, towards the latter part of March, then the weeks start to fly by. That's just the way it seems to be for me.
Yeah, April
this week
1st
went by.
already. It's
yeah.
crazy.
I know.
Been busy getting that office together. It's really came out nice, and just a couple more things I want to do, and go from there. And
The nice thing about Cleveland
Back
is
to
you
business.
really don't notice. You know, it always feels like winter. You know?
It's always cloudy. It doesn't
Yeah, it's
matter what
cloudy.
season it is.
Yeah.
That is faux show. Faux show.
We do have when it's nice. It's really nice.
I always
It's
say the weather in Cleveland. If you don't like the weather in Cleveland, just wait 5 minutes and it'll change.
that's
Got
true.
that right.
That's true. L.A. was the opposite.
Exactly.
What's the weather like going to be like tomorrow? It's same as it was today.
Same as it was.
75 and sunny, right?
Most of the time, that's right.
Yeah,
So what
but
do we
then
got
you
on
have
the
to
scroll,
live in
kids?
California.
What do we got on the screen?
I know that's the problem.
What do we have on the scroll? We've got Derek Pilarchuk,
Derek.
Debo, what's up, dog?
with Trevor and
Derek, all
Grady
right.
are in the house.
Shady Grady and Trouble Trevor.
All right. Shauna's out there.
And Kayla.
Kayla.
is out
Here,
there.
Patrick Patterson. Oh wait,
Oh.
I wasn't ready for Patrick, but here we go.
There you go. G Money.
All right.
What's
Pass
up, G Money?
Phil Weaver,
Yep.
Phil. Master woodworking craftsman.
Amen.
extraordinaire.
Yep.
Yeah.
He says TGIF, by the way.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Right.
Thank you.
And it's April Fool's. How often does that happen?
It
Once
worked-
every
worked in
7
our
or 8
favor.
years, probably.
Phil, I want to know what you're drinking today. Killing me.
And we got
Phil,
Nick
yeah.
T.
What
Nick
beer
T.
you got, Phil? Tell us.
I'm drinking the POC again. Jose Padilla. Nice to see
Jose.
you.
Oh, okay.
Jose, I have your cigars. Picked them up today. We'll chat tomorrow. Why don't you text me in the morning at some point, and then we'll hook up tomorrow. And I got you a discount on the cigars too. I got you 20 great cigars. You'll love it.
So you've
You
met
do this
Jose?
over a text? Could you
Or-
like make plans like outside the show?
No. Listen.
Message received.
I'm about to lay my heavy pimp hand down.
Again?
Okay.
So, but anyway, Jose, reach out to me tomorrow and we'll get you all settled in. Oh
sorry.
my goodness.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Nick T,
Okay.
love you,
Oh,
brother.
And Rob from
Rob is
sunny
here.
Green Bay.
Oh, we need to get a Rob thing.
Rob will
I'll
be
have
in
to
on
work on
Rob
that.
will be in on Monday and I think Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember which one. But we'll see Rob a couple of times this week. That'll be fun.
All right. Well,
And Phil Weaver says he's drinking Juicy Juice Double IPA.
Ah, does it
oh,
come with a
there
pair
we
of
go.
pants?
All right.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
So,
Okay,
did we
well-
ask what you're smoking today?
I'm smoking a 660 La Flor Dominicana.
660? I thought you said it was a 770.
That's the next cigar I'm smoking.
Oh, look at that. Now, which one is going to have the Whiskey Roundtable labels on it?
All of my 660s will have the Whiskey Roundtable labels. Those cigars were put together for us, and Dave also sells them at Royal Havana.
This one.
Sweet.
Exactly right. So
You gotta love that, man.
Yeah.
So, before the show, with it being April Fool's, I just have to say, I was reading a story. I'm like, oh my gosh, talk about your single barrel. They saw Bigfoot at Blossom Music Center. It was a joke for April Fool's. I'm like
Yeah.
falling for it.
some of that stuff's really
We can
good.
see-
Send a picture out and do all that stuff. That was good.
The one Browns player, he posted on his Instagram or something this morning that he wanted a trade and he wanted his fans to know first. So I guess the Browns absolutely threw a shit fit, and he's like, "I'm just kidding, it's April Fool's," but everyone was going crazy. But anyway,
I know from experience last year that the NFL takes their commenting very seriously, and that's a whole
Yes,
story I
yes.
can't get into. But I was
Oh, I'm
I was
sure.
actually
Oh.
a part. I was actually a part of it.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
yeah, we won't go there though.
Yeah.
So, Wizard, we were talking about how is everything. How's the job going?
Well, it's secure.
It's secure. What?
That's
Yeah.
it?
No,
That's all
nobody
you got?
else. Nobody else would want it.
Oh, you have one of those too.
Oh. That's why I like being my own boss.
Oh, that's just April Fool's, in case anybody's
yeah.
watching.
We're just kidding.
right.
Yes. Okay. Well,
right.
so
So what do we? So our platform has changed today. So why don't
Yes,
we give a
just
rundown on what we're gonna do?
it's a little bit of a. We have to change things up for reasons that you'll see. We've, as you can see here, that we have 3 very bottom shelf whiskeys, or well, I guess we can call them whiskeys, yes. And our task was each of us had to pick one for tonight's show. And the goal is to try to get the worst one we could possibly get. So we went to the store, we procured our bottles, as you see there. And we'll be doing a blind taste test. We're going to be tasting each of these, but we won't know which one it is. We'll go through our standard rating, and we'll see how they all fare. And then the loser is the winner. So
Awesome. So are we? Just question. Are we going to do a little bit of history on each bottle?
I got a little bit of information on each bottle, about a paragraph, not
Okay. All right. Yeah, it
necessarily
doesn't-
history, so to say, but
Right.
information.
But before we get to all that, let's do a quick bottle count.
Oh
We'll
boy.
see you in a minute.
All right, kids. We'll be right back.
I was
Hey everyone, it's time for the bottle cam. The bottle cam.
I love the bat whole thing. You just
Well, I'm surprised we didn't break the camera.
Well, yeah, I know. Good thing you didn't really swing,
Yeah.
because
Just that tap. Just
Yeah.
sent it.
it's
Just
just
going.
swing better.
yeah.
So, but it was fun.
To
We never
right.
know what we're going to see on the bottle can.
So we are mixing up the order here, and to that point, and there's not anything else we need to cover, I don't think. So the Whiskey Wizard tonight is going to come next because that kind of sets up what we're going to do for the show tonight. So, and in the interim, we'll be getting ready to go into the next phase and where we're going to sacrifice for you all. And,
Does everybody have a pail they can throw up in, or no?
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Just check.
We need to have a discard.
Mm.
Like wine.
Exactly. But
Or
so,
cheese.
so we're ready.
Yeah, let's
We'll
get
be
it moving.
back right after the Whiskey Wizard.
Be about 15 minutes, kids.
Whiskey Wizard! It's the Whiskey Wizard!
Hello and welcome to the Whiskey Wizard, where we say that whiskey making takes scientific knowledge, an artisan's skill and dedication, and a bit of the wizard's alchemy of light, air, earth, and fire. Tonight we're doing the whiskey fan equivalent of having a gourmet chef do some dumpster diving. That's right, we're taking a trip to the bottom shelf at the gas station mini mart and seeing what horrors await. Or will we be surprised? I don't think so, but we'll see. For our April Fool's show, we've decided to each procure the lowest of the low that we could find. Let's call them bottom shelfies. And then we're going to match them up in a blind taste test. The provider of the worst takes home the trophy. But before we do that, I thought we should talk about these things. And since we're all friends here, we certainly hope we can address this topic in a truthful manner. Okay, bottom shelf and rot gut are a few names that come to mind. Most in this category I've typically viewed as the sustenance that homeless alcoholics must be seeking out once they've panhandled enough change together. And this view is mostly deserved, but let's ask the question, are there any in the budget category that are acceptable, maybe as a mixer or as a sipper as you work on a project in the garage, around the house, or whatever? Still, let's clarify something. For example, one recognized bottom shelfie is Old Thompson, which, like many of the worst category, are not really bourbon, but rather a blend of whiskeys coupled with neutral grain spirits such as vodka, Drink Hacker tells us. These have artificial color and flavor added as well. Yuck. Again, Drink Hacker says if you've had Seagram 7, you know the deal. The blend strictly follows the U.S. Code of Federal Regulations, which requires that a beverage contain at least 20% whiskey, aged at least 2 years, to be labeled American whiskey. The consequences of just barely staying within the legal definition of American whiskey are immediately apparent. The nose is almost non-existent, with hints of gasoline and nail polish remover, along with the slightest whiff of what might be corn sweetness. This makes sense considering that 4/5 of the product is unaged grain alcohol. On the palate, Old Thompson is harsher than its proof would suggest and offers an unpleasant sweetness that doesn't seem to draw from the whiskey in the product. Much goes into the making of a good whiskey, including quality ingredients, proper equipment, and of course aging. There's a huge difference in flavor between a whiskey aged for 2 years and one aged for 25 years. Well-aged whiskeys are often expensive, largely because of how long it takes to produce a single batch. However, this doesn't mean you can't enjoy a cheap whiskey, at least some say. While perhaps less common, there are some gems out there that taste amazing despite their price point. The best bottom shelf whiskey may not be aged for 20 years, but some claim it's been made well in all other areas. Okay, so what about the best bottom shelfies? Well, according to Food for Net, the 5 best bottom shelf whiskeys are 1. Four Roses Bourbon. Now, if you ask me, Yellow Label Four Roses is not a bottom shelf whiskey. It's a pretty good bargain though at $20, but I don't necessarily consider it bottom shelf. But anyway, let's move on. Number 2, Rebel Yell Kentucky Straight Bourbon. You can trace the history of Rebel Yell Kentucky Straight Bourbon back to 1849 when William Weller founded his first company, W.L. Weller and Sons. He was a passionate distiller who came up with the idea of using wheat instead of rye in his whiskey to produce a lighter taste. Okay, again, I don't know if this one really qualifies, at least in my book, as a bottom shelf whiskey. Maybe that's why they're the best of the bottom shelves. Anyway, the company itself disbanded in 1972, but the Rebel Yell brand lives on, as it was bought by a company now called Luxco, and its production transferred to Heaven Hill Distillery. This expression, some say, offers caramel, grass, dried apples, and cut wood on the nose. The palate follows with wheat and vanilla, and only the mildest burn on the way down, they say. Number 3, very old Barton Kentucky Straight Bourbon. It's an impressive spirit, even given its low price point, they say. Whiskey Advocate named it Best Buy Whiskey of the Year. Again, doesn't seem to qualify that much as a bottom shelfie to me. The requirements for bourbon in the United States are that it must be a mash bill of at least 51% corn, matured in oak barrels, and bottled at 80 proof or higher. If whiskey is all these things and it's aged for at least 2 years, it earns the title of straight bourbon. The whiskey is aged for about 4 to 6 years in charred American oak barrels. So again, bottom shelf, I don't know. Excuse me. The charring gives it a series of distinct flavors that are highly enjoyable, even when sipped neat. In the bottle, it's a rich amber color with an aroma of chewy leather and vanilla beans, they say. Okay, number 4, your plain old granddad. A distiller named Basil Hayden made himself known by distilling a whiskey with a higher than normal percentage of rye, which led to a distinctive taste and the old granddad style bourbon that we know. According to Food for Net, on the nose, old granddad bourbon features sweet caramel, cinnamon, vanilla, and a touch of burnt oak. The cinnamon is dominant, and it's well balanced by the sweeter notes, they say. The palate is also strong with cinnamon, baking spices, and dark fruit. Seems a little redundant, okay? Rye spice shows up on the finish, and it's a well-balanced, medium-bodied, pleasant drink overall, they say. Again, I'm a fan of their Bottled and Bond offering and others, but not really with the regular. So maybe this is legitimate in that category, and maybe it's as good as they say. And number 5, rounding it out, again, is Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. Now, Evan Williams is a known distillery in Kentucky, having produced a wide range of bourbons, flavored whiskeys, and even some liqueurs. To be considered bottled and bond, blah, 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 I think you guys all know this. Distilled in one season, one distillery, must be aged for at least 4 years in a federally bonded warehouse supervised by the government. And how much must the proof be? That's right, 100 proof. The label must also contain clear information about where it was distilled and bottled, and if the locations are different. That must also be stated. Okay, Bottled and Bond, again, is hardly a bottom shelfie in my book in most cases. I think it goes without saying that there's a little extra effort to ensure that a Bottled and Bond is not something that you typically would find consistent with a bottom shelf whiskey. Much of the cheap flavors of a blended or overly youthful spirit can be masked in a cocktail, but sometimes you just want to enjoy the other flavors present without too much interference. Here are a few simple things you can mix with your whiskey to mask some of the flaws while retaining the flavors you enjoy. Coke or Diet Coke. Cola is an easy go-to for many simple spirit mixers, and whiskey is no different. Coke's sweet corn syrup will smooth out any harsh tones in the whiskey and make it very easy to drink. Lemonade. It's a great summer drink, and summer is a popular time to consume whiskey. Why not mix the two with easy spiked lemonade? The combination usually works, and the idea can give you a little confidence if you're trying out new whiskeys. If you hate it, just add lemonade and it becomes much more likable. Cold brew, coffee, and alcohol have a long history of being amazing together. Irish cream in your morning cup is a popular one, and there are countless mocha and coffee flavored cocktails out there. Coffee and whiskey go well together too, but make sure the coffee is cold brew. The heat of hot coffee will make the harsher notes you're trying to eliminate even worse. Ginger ale. Much like Coke, the sweetness in ginger ale takes away the harsher notes of the whiskey, but adds a little tiny bit of spice as well, thanks to the ginger. You can also expect some creamy vanilla notes to come through even more. Okay, here are some of the worst rated according to various sources. On the Scottish whiskey front, here are the 5 worst according to Whiskey Base. Levant Highlands Black Peat. Number 2, Waseki Heiseker Maize Whiskey. 3, Highlands Whiskey Red. 4, Tekolship 2010 Real Dutch Lowland Single Malt Whiskey. And number 5, Marie Brewery 12-year-old Millennium Reserve. And how about American whiskeys? Here's 4 worst according to the Bourbon Guy. He says that he thinks his wife's comments about these 4 sum it up perfectly. You can't make me put more of it in my mouth. Masterson's Straight Wheat and Straight Barley Whiskey. These are technically a set of Canadian whiskeys, but since they are sold by a U.S. company, he thought he would include it here. He says he struggled through half the sample of each before dumping them out and finding something tastier to get the flavor out of his mouth. Rebel Yell. He says he bought this bourbon as part of a bottom shelf challenge he once did, and it lost in the first round to Old Crow Reserve. Town Branch Bourbon. He said he'd never purchased this bourbon, but he'd given this a shot on numerous occasions, and he keeps thinking that it must just be him, but he doesn't like it. And interesting that Rebel Yell came up on the worst list here, and it also came up on the best of the bottom shelf in the previous article we talked about. Woodford Reserve's Master Collection Double Malt Selection. He says this release has 2 different malt whiskeys that needed to be purchased separately. He said he had them at a friend's house in Louisville, and they were both extremely excited to try it, but and they both ended up dumping it out without finishing their drink. So there you have it. We are finished with all this foolishness and climbing all the way to the bottom. Okay, so as promised, tonight we have our 3 worst of the bottom shelfies to try blind, and we'll rate them on the Whiskey Roundtable scale. Loser takes all. Oh my, the sacrifices we make for all of you. So this is Douglas Dunbar, the Whiskey Wizard for the Whiskey Roundtable. Cheers, Slanjava, and now back to the live show.
What's 12?
And we are back.
All right.
So look at you guys. I love the little
Yes.
Bojangles things you
Yeah,
got over there.
I don't know what made you want to put
I
this on.
couldn't
but-
get the condom over my face, so I decided to wear this hat instead. Just saying.
So while you were going through
Hey,
this,
Whiskey Wizard, I'm real proud of you.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Thank you,
well,
Siri.
hey, we're all proud of him because he does great Whiskey Wizard episodes. But I got to ask you, I was surprised to see some of those bottles as bottom shelves.
Yeah, yeah. So was I. I mean, when I did the research and was just looking at different articles out there, I think some of these, because in my mind, as I said, I don't think there's any way that Four Roses Yellow Label is a bottom shelf whiskey. In fact, I think it's for the money, it's one of the best whiskeys there is, along with kind of the standard Buffalo Trace. But there's no way it's bottom shelf. Now, I think some of those guys were probably, their premise was it had to be real bourbon, right?
Ignore me. Go ahead.
It had to be a real bourbon they were rating, whereas, as we'll see, some of tonight's great selections that we're going to be tasting don't even meet that definition. They can only be defined as American whiskey
Okay.
because I think it has to be at least 20% American whiskey.
And
So
doesn't
let's just
bourbon
leave it at that.
Doesn't bourbon have to be aged for 4 years or more?
No, not to
Well,
be
two-
bourbon. To be
two-
straight bourbon, 2
2
years.
years. Yeah.
Okay.
But these just are borderline on what by law you're allowed to call something a whiskey.
So I always come back to, don't know this to be true, but I always come back to, I think that a lot of that stuff is what they didn't make the cut, so to say, and they rebottle it.
Yeah,
Or maybe it's something they use for blending, it's left over, or whatever. I mean, it makes sense, right? But
I don't want to get too far ahead of
okay,
ourselves.
sorry.
No. I mean, as far as commenting before we really taste any of this,
Right.
But let's just say that the bottom shelf bottles are pretty dusty. So
I found mine under the bottom shelf.
And I think we're going to find that they
I was on my hands and
deserve.
knees with the broom trying to pull that shit out, but we found it.
I find myself, as I was thinking about this, why do they even make this stuff? And so maybe you're right. It's like it's all they can do with it, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we're going to be really surprised, and some of this stuff is going to be so great that we found some real gems for the money.
Yeah,
so.
we really scored this time.
We scored.
Okay,
So
well-
should we? I have a paragraph on each of ours.
Yeah, so let's quickly go through our tonight's tasty selections that we're going to try out here.
We are. So we have 3 different ones. We all picked out one. We're going to start Big G. You picked out 10 High, which is an 80 proof product from Sazerac, which, by the way, all the products we picked out, and we did not plan this at all. It just worked out
It
this
just
way.
happened to be that way.
They're all from Sazerac. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Sazerac Company, a parent company, is the main name for Buffalo Trace. So it's a Buffalo Trace product, so to say, by Sazerac Rye.
And the 10 High is actually from the Barton division of Sazerac
Of course,
Company.
maybe, Greg, you picked that on a purpose because you're a Buffalo Trace guy.
I cannot, what do they say? Deny or...
You can't deny that. Okay. You don't either deny
Or
or
confirm.
confirm that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Lauren says she was experiencing Fireball. Yes.
Oof.
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 It also is good is that Jim
Fireball in
Fire-
the right context is okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you
It's
what.
it's like drinking a red hot candy. I mean,
I'll tell you what. If you've ever you want to make drinks or cocktails or whatever, Jim Beam
Fire.
Fire is a great whiskey for
it
sure.
actually isn't a whiskey. It's a great
Well,
liqueur.
It's a great liqueur, but I'll tell you what.
Yes.
I was
I'm
pleasantly
with you.
surprised.
No, I had some.
You don't have all
Yeah.
that sugar sweetness. Da 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 da. It drinks like a good whiskey. for
I went
sure.
through a short Fireball phase.
How short?
Doing
Yeah, how short were you?
well. It was just a phase of doing shots of Fireball, and then I found out that that the
Jim Beam.
Jim Beam was a lot better. There are cinnamon versions.
Amen.
Yeah, I like cinnamon, so
Cinnamon.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, G, you picked out 10 High. Like I mentioned, this is an 80 proof product. And you were able to secure this for $10 whole
$9.99.
a bottle.
Just
Hey,
under 10.
Big G, that's really quite damn impressive.
Thank you. Thank you
It
very much.
was. Yeah, that's a good bargain.
That's a bargain.
That's a great bargain.
Yeah.
$10 make you holla.
So
I'm
that
just
when I was at the liquor store, when I was at $10. Oh, me so horny. Yeah.
We might be hollering later. I don't know.
I have a feeling.
Elliot, hey, you're too buku. So when I when I put those two bottles on the counter, Avatar looked at me like I lost my mind. He's like, "You're not drinking that,
He's
are you?"
used to you coming up there with real high end, best of the best, and you show up with 10 high.
I gotta go.
He's like, "Gee, did you having financial problems or what?"
He looked at me. He looks at me. He's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a whole thing with the radio show." He's like, he just shakes his head. Like, what's wrong with you?
Oh my.
All
Okay.
right. So 10 High. It was
10
first
High,
it
yeah.
was first introduced in the 1930s by Hiram Walker and Sons, and as I mentioned, it's now produced by Barton Brands
That's because
division
they
of
fired
Sazerac.
those two assholes.
And the name 10 High refers to the barrel storage location of at least 10 ricks high. Barrels in the upper part seem to age more rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
So from the
They
early
get all the seasons.
And they decided to take at least 20% of that barrel and add it to this product. So
Lucky us. So from the early 1980s until the late 2000s, 10 High was a straight bourbon whiskey. But then starting in 2009, the brand switched over to being labeled a bourbon blend.
yes, which allows it to have pretty much
It was
anything.
it was
in
so
it,
bad they had to blend it.
as long as it has at least 20%
Give me some shit to put on.
bourbon in it, or American real whiskey.
So yes, this is 51% straight bourbon with the remainder being neutral.
I think it might be the high mark of all these that we're going to try tonight, because it actually has 51% real bourbon in it.
All right, we'll see what
We'll
happens.
see about that.
But
So
of course, we won't know what we're tasting when. So
we don't. We don't have any idea what we're doing because we
Yeah.
didn't want any cheaters, lowballing their own drink here.
yeah, that's right.
All right, kids.
So my pick was the
And as far as us not knowing what we're doing, that's pretty much every week.
What do you expect? This is the Whiskey Roundtable.
That's right.
Amen.
Okay.
Right. We just go in blind, man. So my drink that I picked is the Benchmark. This is also
Yes.
an 80 proof product, also from Sazerac, from the Buffalo Trace division. Again, this one's $10 a bottle. I'm pointing to it like it's on the table, but
But they
we
are
had to
hiding it.
magically remove them from the table so we don't know what we're
yes,
drinking.
Right.
But the full name of this brand that actually appears on the bottle is McAfee's Benchmark.
Okay.
Old number 8 brand.
All right. Not to be confused with how many years it's been aged.
Oh God, no.
No.
So where did McAfee come from? In 1773, there were 3 McAfee brothers.
They went on to make antivirus software, I think.
You're Russian.
Yeah.
Oh dear Lord. Yeah.
And I think Doug's bottle came out of Ukraine. I'm not sure. But we'll get to that eventually. Go ahead.
Yeah. Chernobyl, I think.
Chernobyl. Perfect.
Oh, this is going south real fast. Anyway, the McAfee brothers, James, George, and Robert, they left Virginia to explore uncharted territory that would be later known as Kentucky. The McAfee brothers followed a native's trail that led to the Great Buffalo Crossing, where the brothers surveyed the land that is now the Buffalo Trace Distillery. So they left surveyor marks behind, and these are known as benchmarks.
Yeah.
And this bourbon honors the pioneering spirits of these early American explorers. We'll see how much
Ooh, okay.
we're honoring those explorers here in a minute.
Okay.
Our last pick
Last but not least
is from the
my
Wizard.
pick. Yes. It's
Kentucky Gentleman.
Kentucky Gentleman. That sounds very regal, and I'm sure it's very fitting for that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not too gentlemanly. But anyway, this is another 80 proof, and this is from the Barton's Distillery of Sazerac.
Yes.
And you really went all out for this because
Yeah.
it's $15 a bottle for this.
I have the.
Why do
most
you always go above
I
and beyond?
Look, I only go for the best.
Nice. Oh my.
Real tomato ketchup, Ed?
Real tomato
That's
ketchup.
right.
Okay, so this is Kentucky Gentleman is a blend of 51% straight bourbon and 49% neutral grain, so similar to the 10 High. Which
So if you average all that together, it's got an average. It's probably got an age of about.
2.5 years.
No, I would say
Oh.
that puts it at about 8 months, something like that. So
8 months.
Okay.
And I don't know what to make of this, but in August 2014, the Russian Consumer Protection Agency, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Okay, why not? Rospotrobnadzor.
Oh, I'm sure that's exactly right.
They announced that it had detected signs of organic chemicals called phthalates
Phthalates, yeah.
in Kentucky Gentlemen, and that stopped Russia from importing this brand. So,
Well, hey, maybe we ought to ship that back over to the Ukrainians. They could just kind of leave it out in convenient spots for the Russian army to pick up.
there you go. Honey, Russian army, you used to say that when you'd wake up in the morning after a night of drinking. You'd say
That
what?
was my mother.
Oh,
She'd say what?
She says my mom. Forget it.
Feels
Sorry,
like the Russian
Mom.
army went to
Sorry.
stoke the fire, Donna.
Stoke the fire, Donna.
Okay, so that is an overview of the 3 picks that we have again.
okay.
10 high benchmark
10
Kentucky
high.
Gentlemen.
Yeah,
So
all right.
Are we getting into this?
Yeah.
we are going to just go right into
So
this.
now we're ready to try our first one. We don't know which one this is. And it will go through the standard Whiskey Roundtable scoring process of 0 to 5.
Yes,
And
would like
today,
to,
I really have to emphasize that it starts scoring at 0.
yes. But
Okay.
I would like to thank Shauna and Steve for pouring these for us.
Helping us out tonight. Yes, thank you very much.
So that we have no idea what we're drinking.
Okay.
And we have not. It's been sitting on the
We
table.
just
have not
know it's
smelled
going to be good. Okay, so you guys ready to nose this?
I can't wait.
Oof. Oof. This smells like what Bruno
Oh my
left out on the
God.
front lawn
Oh my God.
about an hour ago.
Oh, sorry.
Wow.
That's gonna hurt.
No, you know. You know what? No.
I get
It's not
like
terrible.
I'll start off with the best things I could say. I
Okay.
get a little bit of almond, and maybe that's more like cyanide, but
I can see that.
Almonds.
almonds, a little bit of the how they say that the gas chamber
I'm gonna pour a
smells
little of
like
this.
almond
Bitter almond.
I'm
before
gonna,
you succumb.
I'm gonna pour a little of this around my car to keep the mice away. But okay.
You guys are good. I don't think it's terrible. I really don't think it's that bad.
I get limited nose on it.
It's very limited nose. It's not complex at all. It smells like oak, and grassy.
Which is totally amazing. 'Cause
Can you imagine?
I don't think it's
Where's that coming from?
touched the
I
barrel
think you described my
as a
underwear.
percentage very
but-
much.
Oaky and grassy?
Oaky and grassy. Nothing better when you wake up with some wood.
Okay.
And a couple grass stains.
What's up,
Okay.
grass
To I said there's a touch of almond in there, just like a little bit of corn. That's really about all I get, and like you said, it's a very oak, but an artificial kind of oak.
Balsam.
Yeah.
You gotta put Steve in there.
Yeah,
too.
I'm going to do that. So I was just going to ask Steve, what are you pulling out of it? Because you're the only one brave enough in tonight's audience to actually.
He's actually
Decide that
trying.
you want to put yourself
He's
into
joined-
a bad
Oh, Steve,
hurt.
yeah. Somebody in our audience actually took up the mantle and decided he would try everything that we are.
That's because the best alcohol is free alcohol.
Amen.
Right, and I
Amen.
think we'll have 3 free bottles for you.
I'll give it to my kid.
Parting gifts.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have a party gift for you.
I said I was going to joke around about it, but I've got to tell you honestly, with a limited nose, truly, the very first 2 things I got were mold and collie breath.
Perfect.
Collie, like the dog,
Like a
like
dog,
grassy.
okay.
Dog.
And he
Dog
goes,
breath and
well, he
mold.
smelled it. He went, woof. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I got.
Oof. Oofa.
No, there's just
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get
there's
into
nothing
this, kids.
enticing about that, but let's see. Maybe the palate's going to surprise us.
I got a
Let's just-
chaser here.
Let's just see. Let's see.
Okay,
I'm going first, guys.
What?
Are we doing this?
Yeah. Let's
All
do
right,
it.
ready?
Do we have to?
We have to.
Ooh,
Yeah.
good drink.
Ooh, well, that's really not so
That's not
good,
good.
is it?
Coconut.
That's not terrible.
Coconut. It's.
Oof.
Coconut.
I feel like I just swallowed some copper tone.
Well,
Yes.
you know when you like go to a honey hive and the bees all swarming you, and it takes you like 75 stings before you get to the honey. I get the honey, and I have all the welts from the bees as well. Does that make sense to you? All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Might have cherry.
Cherry.
I think I'm getting a tiny bit of like, the old rotted cherries that are on the ground.
Cherries.
You know what I get? I do
I
like.
get honey.
I'll be kind here. It's wasn't quite as bad actually as the nose was. I get like candy corn. Like if you've left it out in the bowl for a couple of months.
When you find that Halloween candy
yeah,
around
exactly.
Easter.
Yeah.
My
You decide to just give it a try, and
My grandmother had that ribbon candy. Do you remember what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then you had to take a chisel and a hammer to
Yeah.
split it because it was there on the
Yeah.
counter for like 3 years.
And the humidity from the
Humidity,
summer
right.
made it stick together. Yeah.
I remember that.
so that
That's not good.
it's really not so good, is
It's
it?
it's definitely got some pepper in it. It's hot.
Really?
It's spicy for sure.
Short finish.
See, I don't get
Short finish.
actually make
barely a finish.
I was pre-gaming with some 110 proof, maybe that's why, but it didn't hit me as hot at all. But and then there's a little something in there, paint thinner, or there's just some nasty alcohol residue or something. So, but hey, I'm going to be a champ. I'm going to finish it.
You know what? I gotta say, it's bad, but it's not bad.
That's what you call
Yeah,
a
like
mix
if you,
for a manhandle.
You could dump that. You could dump that in a Coke or something.
It didn't have much flavor
Or-
at all.
or the-
I dump it in a Coke or
I
a
dump
ginger ale.
or a garbage can.
Toilet.
So, all right, kids. Are we gonna
Okay.
score this
That-
or what?
Oh yeah,
Are
score
we gonna
it.
do is there a palette on it or no? Are we just going?
I did
straight?
not. No, because
Okay,
I don't
I'm
know
just
which
curious.
one this
Okay.
is.
Big G
All right.
number 1. What do you say?
I'm gonna give it a 1.9.
1.9. That's a pretty good whiskey round table score on this.
1.9.
Karen?
Gosh, the first number that came into my head is 2.0.
2.0. So it's halfway in your mind to something that you have to have on your shelf.
Yeah, damn it.
Your bottom shelf.
Oh wait, it's it must be a logarithmic scale.
That's right.
There we go. Okay.
Whatever that means. Okay. Doug, what do you think?
Okay. I'm going to give this again. G and I are always. I'm going to give it a 1.1.
1.1.
1.16. I'm
Brother
sorry.
Steven.
Shit.
1.2. If it was given to me,
Steve.
I'd drink it, but I wouldn't go out to get it.
Oh, it's going to
was
be
given to
Steve,
you.
trust me,
Yes,
it's going to
it
be
was.
given to
Yeah.
you.
Make up your mind.
1.2 says
All right.
Steve. All right.
Yeah, I don't think it's terrible. It's
If it was the only whiskey on Earth and after the apocalypse, you would probably drink it, right?
oh, I would get effed up
Yeah.
on this. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Pass this out, kids.
One for you.
So
All right.
number 2, whiskey number 2.
You have empty? You want me to take empty? There we
All
go.
right, thank you.
There's an empty.
Oh, another empty? How did we end up with 4?
That's
I
a
don't
clean
know.
one.
Lucky.
Steve? What is this one?
Clean.
Oh,
Oh,
that's,
Steve's.
that's Steve's. Here, put that in there for Steve.
All right, kids. So
Okay.
we're moving on
Okay,
to
number 2.
We're moving
pick
on
number
to
2.
I gotta
More
say the
volcanic
color is very
ash.
consistent.
Yeah, it's pretty light.
I mean, actually, you could be fooled into thinking that's a real whiskey.
It could be.
Yeah.
Just might.
Well, maybe it is. Let's see.
All right.
Well,
Are we gonna
let's
sniff
go in.
this?
yeah. Easy, girl.
Ooh. Ooh. That doesn't smell like whiskey or anything.
I get nothing out of it.
No,
Oh, I just get some corn. Like that's all I
Yeah.
get is
I don't
like,
remember eating corn.
yeah.
You will tomorrow.
That is
Like if you open a can of Green Giant
Oh, Jesus.
corn, like canned corn.
see, this is where I'm gonna go back to your candy corns. Like this is
Yeah.
very sweet to me on the nose.
But one
Well,
thing I'll say
I'm-
about it is I don't get any chemical kind of paint
No
thinner, solvent
chemical.
odors. I just get kind of a soft corn, kind of sweet, overly sweet corn kind of odor.
Sorry, kids. I got people that are watching
Okay, well
that
they
are
can
texting
comment.
me, but
They can comment.
So
Come on now, we got a show to do. What do you
Comment
get
on the
nose?
show if they want.
I get some oxygen on the nose. I really can't pull anything out of it.
I get sweet, candy-ish.
Yeah, there's definitely corn. That's all I get.
Yeah, I could say corn, but
Steve, what are you getting?
Give me a second. I just started snoofing.
All right.
Snoofing? I get straight
See,
candy.
this is the one I'm
sugar.
getting the candy corn on.
That's what I
No,
said.
I think, yeah, after she said that, I went in some more. I got, first it was like canned corn, but there is a lot of
Maybe-
sweetness here too. So I get
Nothing.
that.
Maybe a gin type of thing, like a juniper.
okay.
It's
I don't
better-
get I don't
it's
get that either.
Better than the first on the nose.
It's
Gentler on the. It's more complex than the first. Let's say that. I'm not
Oh,
gonna
you
say
could
better.
smell two
Nothing
things.
of it.
It's not better. Yeah, it's not better. It's more complex,
Okay.
relatively.
Yeah, I have to say, I think the nose is slightly better on this
Well,
than the first one.
yeah, it's sweet.
Yeah.
It's easier to take on the nose.
Well,
Easy.
What do you expect? This is the Whiskey Roundtable.
Okay.
Now we're getting into our college days, but anyway,
All right. So
All right.
let's taste this. Then.
let's taste it. Let's do it. You're right. It's definitely sweet.
Drink your beer.
It's
Oh, no, I don't wanna waste
sweet. It's like got a imitation kind of chocolate.
Caramel.
Yeah, mocha.
Yeah, caramel
Mocha,
or
fake
cocoa.
caramel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imitation though,
Yeah.
not the real deal.
Holy hell.
Again, another
Nose is better.
like unexistent. It's not long at all in the finish at all. But I do get a lot of mocha out of it.
Ugh.
The nose was better.
The burn. It's an instant burn and it's an instant like gag reflex. I can't help it.
I don't get that, but I definitely get straight mocha out of it.
Oh my god.
Mocha.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's bad.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well,
Well, what are we doing, guys?
Come on, I went to Ohio U. Let's do that.
Oh, I just want to get rid of it.
what do you think about that finish, Greg?
Cheers.
Oh,
Holy hell.
there's just something ever so slightly metallic on the finish. Generally, not a good flavor statement for anything to do with whiskey, but it's there.
I'm sorry.
Hang on a second.
Oh, I can't. I was gonna.
You can't even drink it, can you?
I don't think I can finish that.
Dude,
All right,
come
give me
on.
that. Give me that glass.
Be a trooper.
Yeah, what's wrong with you? That's what I'm.
What do you expect? This is the Whiskey
Whiskey was-
Roundtable. Ooh. Holy hell, that was okay. We may have a winner on that one. 'Cause-
You're gonna have to see your faces
All right.
you made.
oh my god. That was
That's,
so bad.
Okay.
So
My
let's
23-year-old kid's gonna love it.
let's before you guys roll in, let's score this.
Okay.
All right. Who's going first?
Well, let's stay with the same order. Big G.
All right. I'm gonna go with a 1.1.
1.1. Oh, that's
Bad.
generous. Karen, what do you?
Okay, this is the first number that popped in my head and I'm sticking with it, a 0.9.
0.9.
Not even a 1.
Okay, so it's to me. I'm going 0.87.
0.87.
I mean,
Kids, who's ever watching a show that's not on the scroll, this isn't our normal show. Trust me. But
Is that a negative?
we do a lot better shows.
no, it's just
trust
a
me, but
regular.
it's just-
No, it's a positive 0.87.
Oh god. Oh.
Okay.
Ooh. I did some shit in my college days, but whoa. Ain't
Yeah,
nothing
even
like
in
that.
college, I never had to drink anything like this.
Holy hell.
All right, number 3. Big number 3.
All right, what do we get?
Did we get Steve's
Steve's score.
We did not
Steve's-
get
we didn't get
Steve's
Steve,
Steve's
what's your
number.
score? Yo.
Score for number 2.
I'm gonna score it a 0.8 only because it's got alcohol in it.
0.8. Okay, due to
Due
to the fact that it's got
I had
alcohol.
left in the glass.
Oh, you loser!
Yeah. I'm in the audience. I get to do what I want as long as
That's
I'm
right.
quiet.
And you
you're
leave your
quiet.
pants on, please.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, number 3. Here we go. What kind of nose do we get, folks?
No
I'm
guts,
scared.
No
I'm
guts, no glory.
Speaking of guts.
I don't get hardly anything on this.
I get nothing out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, no, I get...
I think the last whiskey just like burned out all my senses. I got nothing.
I think, you know what I get is frat party Harry Buffalo ingredients. That's what I get.
Harry
In
Boat.
fact, that's what we ought to donate all of these to is the local fraternity, the closest college.
You know what? It smells like dog piss.
Oh.
No, I was going to say there's almost a little bit of a urea kind of smell. in it.
Okay, well, you're a lot more scientific, but yeah, dog piss.
Okay, piss.
It smells. I get that because trust me, our English bulldogs, when they gotta go, they gotta go.
All right.
I get just, honestly, just a slight hint of like rubbing alcohol. And there is just a little bit of corn in there. Another, again, it's just corn.
Are we? Oh my goodness.
Oh, and there is something on the,
She gets up all
there is just something sour on the end of it. Little bit of,
Little tangy.
It's got a little tanginess
maybe
to it.
maybe some acetic acid or.
It's got
you
the
know.
little tongue punch
Yeah.
in there. Tip of the tongue.
But there is just also something that's a little bit. You know, remember those? Remember? Did you ever have this candy when you were a kid? These marshmallow peanuts.
Yes.
There's just a little
The
hint-
circus peanuts.
circus peanuts. There's a little bit of circus peanuts. Peanuts
Peanuts. Peanuts.
or circus peanuts or whatever you.
Come again, baby.
That might be more accurate.
Steve, what are you getting on the nose over there?
Some balls or what? What do you got going?
Elliot, get off of him.
Not
Shorty balls.
Sweaty balls. Okay, you get sweaty balls.
I actually, the first thing that hit my nose was
the glass.
the glass. It has very little nose on it. And
Yeah,
the
it's
first
very-
thing I got was like in the autumn, and you've got all these flowers, and they're starting to rot.
Ah.
Because I got a floral something, but it isn't a good floral something.
a fading,
I get like no
fading
nose out of it.
Vegetation, yeah.
All right, kids, come on, let's move
All
it
right,
on.
let's go.
Let's get into this.
Oh, shit, God, this is done after this.
It tastes like it smells. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's very. There's actually the taste is better than the smell. There's a little bit of cocoa. That's about it. I get a little bit of candy sweetness and some cocoa.
I get a little granny
Which
panties
comparing
out of this
to-
one.
Granny panties.
But
Grandma
given that
doesn't
on the
stink.
smell, I was getting some chemicals and stuff. It's
I'm thinking grain alcohol.
I'm thinking more like when you get gum in your hair. You know what I'm saying?
Grain alcohol, that's what I got.
And then you
It's-
eat it again?
And then you eat
That's
it
all I
again.
taste.
or
You know?
or
And you're
gum
like-
you.
Yeah, pull out the hairs.
Yeah.
It's like Chevy Chase in Christmas Story when they're eating a turkey.
Yeah,
That's
this
what I
is.
get out
Okay.
This. It's not terrible, but it's not anything. There's nothing. There's no substance to this
But
at all. But
as
it's
far
not
as
terrible.
tonight, that could be a good thing.
It's not a bad thing because there's nothing bad like
There's
punching
nothing
you right in the gut.
objectionable. That might be tonight's winner. I don't know. I don't want to skew any of the scoring. Not tasting anything would be a plus. So.
I have a little after heat after that, but I'm really not getting anything out of it.
Yeah, it's a
But you got to
very
score
quick
it.
heat.
You got to
I
score
will
it.
score
Chief.
it.
Yeah,
So what do
okay.
you think on this one?
Me first.
Yeah.
I'm going to give
Unless
it.
there's any finishing notes you want to give us.
I'm going. Yes. Oxygen.
As in you need
a
some?
little bit of dishwasher. I get out of it from the glass. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to score it at a 0.8.
Oh,
0.8.
so your lowest of all.
That's
the
your.
ones
That is your
tonight.
lowest. So you think this is better or worse than the last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
do, 'cause
that's
I don't
number-
get anything on the nose, and I don't get anything on the drink except a little heat.
But compared to
That's
the
it.
other two, to me, that's a plus.
Yeah, I
Just saying.
agree. If it doesn't make you like completely want to,
Vomit?
thank you. I'm gonna go with the 1.1.
1.1. Good
On this
score.
one.
I think that's a pretty
Good score. Good shoot.
Good show.
Karen, this time I'm right with you. My number 3, I'm going with just 1.07 here.
Very nice.
And
Very nice.
Steve, what do you think you're going to give us for our third selection tonight?
If I was going to grade it on its own, it'd be a 0.5 because it has no flavor. But compared to the other two we had tonight, I'm giving it a 1.5 because it had no flavor.
That's what I was saying. Okay.
So that is actually your favorite
So
one of the
let's,
evening.
let's make it a 1. Let's average it and make it
Just
a 1.
make it a 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's average it.
Okay, Steve's going to... Okay. You're calling it a 1?
Yeah.
1.0?
We'll go a 1.0.
Okay. All right.
Who's gonna do the math?
Who's doing the math? 'Cause we,
Okay, not
We
me.
didn't
Because
think-
I just did 3
yeah,
shots.
I
of
can't
whiskey.
do math after these.
What math?
You do the math.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so-
I can't
You
do
do
either
everything?
of that either.
Come
Got
on.
no flavor. You
All
can
right.
drink that.
Somebody has to figure out the math so you get the average.
Okay, we'll be right
Guys,
back in a few minutes. No.
What,
No,
know
we
what?
want. Okay, let's.
Let's-
Because this will
let's-
be fun to watch us do this.
Well, let's do this. Do we have a Royal Havana commercial or no?
We do have. I don't,
Don't
know.
look at him.
Why don't we do a Royal Havana commercial?
Yep, we
Let's
do.
do the math, and we'll come back for the final scores, okay?
All right, we will do that. Here comes Royal Havana. We'll be right back.
Be right back, kids.
Hi, it's the gang from the Whiskey Roundtable here. We're not here to talk about whiskey. We're here to talk about cigars. Royal Havana Cigars. Royal Havana Cigars is located at 38448 Lakeshore Boulevard in Willoughby, Ohio. That's 38448 Lakeshore Boulevard in Willoughby, Ohio. Royal Havana Cigar Lounge is tailored to an old 50s, 60s Cuban theme with a friendly atmosphere. Their walk-in humidor is filled with top cigar brands. Trust us, you're bound to find the cigar you're looking for. Royal Havana's friendly atmosphere and comfortable accommodations gives you the opportunity to relax in one of their fine chairs and enjoy a fine cigar. Try one of their house brand cigars. Royal Havana house brand cigars are rolled fresh every week. Not to mention the price is right. What else does Royal Havana offer, you ask? Let us tell you. Check out Royal Havana's large inventory of lighters, cutters, butane, lockers for rent, ashtrays, rocks glasses, and coffee cups. And hey ladies, Royal Havana has gift cards and a clothing boutique. And while you're there, check out the humidor for the fine line of cigars tailored to a woman's taste. That's right, we said it. They have cigars that are specially designed for a woman's enjoyment. Visit Royal Havana Cigars at gmail.com for all of Royal Havana's up-and-coming cigar events. They also host public and private events like weddings, family get-togethers, golf outings, wine tastings, just to name a few. So next time you're in the area, stop in at Royal Havana Cigars and see owner Dave Somrock and mention the name Big G from the Whiskey Roundtable, and you'll receive 10% off your first cigar purchase. Listen, we know what some of you are thinking. You can get a cigar anywhere. But hey, at Royal Havana, you can only get a good cigar. That's Royal Havana Cigars, located at 38448 Lakeshore Boulevard in Willoughby, Ohio, and tell them Big G from the Whiskey Roundtable sent you.
All right, so we are tallying up almost to the end here.
I got it.
What's that last one?
1.1.
1.1. Oh, these are all so very close.
Tight scoring tonight on this. Yeah.
So what we did is, while we were away at our commercial, we put them in order from Greg's side of the table to the Wizards' side of the table in how they came out to us. So the first one that we tried was the benchmark.
Correct.
That was mine. So I got the favorite. So I clearly lose
Yes, you did.
because that one came in with a 1.4 average score.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty darn good.
Which is the highest score. So I remember this one. I said it wasn't terrible. It was sweet. So I guess if you're looking
Although
for bottom
that's
shelf,
bad tonight.
yeah, that is bad. What's good is bad, and what bad is good.
Okay.
What did I say? Anyway, so I'm gonna. So Doug, your pick was second with the Kentucky Gentleman.
Second.
No, you brought out the second taste,
Oh,
which
yeah.
we were which I like
Kentucky
almost
Gentleman.
gagged on film to that. And then Greg, the third pick that we tried was the 10 high. Okay. So this is where the scores get very interesting, like Double Jeopardy. Greg,
Yes.
you came in number 2. You're number 2.
I've been number 2 my whole life.
Your average score came in as 1.1. And Wizard, you are the winner tonight.
What? Cheater.
With the worst effing alcohol I have ever
It was
had in my life. And
Really bad.
let me tell you, that rainbow is packed full of stuff.
Oof.
Your average score was a 1.04.
What?
Like when you think of that name, Kentucky Gentleman, you picture a genteel Southern gentleman. I think Kentucky Gentleman is definitely the kind of thing that person would never, ever in their whole life think of even
Being a
putting
gentleman?
close to their mouth.
This Kentucky Gentleman is missing about 20 teeth.
Yes.
He's playing the banjo up in some hill.
And he's got 3 fingers.
And you got a pretty mouth, son.
Well, I mean, what I would say about all of these is it's too bad that none of them would probably burn. Otherwise, you could use them to start a campfire or something like that. It's bad.
I'll
bad,
have to
bad.
try some of that next time I make
Yeah.
Japanese food.
But yeah, definitely Southern Gentleman. That's lower than bottom shelf. That
Yeah.
you need to bury that in the backyard. So
Amen.
Oh my
All
God.
right. Well, kids.
Well, I would like to go to the
and mine, I would add, mine was the most expensive, was it not?
yes, it was.
It was, so that proves
See?
our point. Money
Yes.
is not everything.
Now, when you think about that, that was $15, right? And then Buffalo. What is I don't know the price of Buffalo Trace Yellow Label, which is actually a very drinkable, nice bourbon, at like $21, $22. I'm sorry, Four Roses Yellow Label is about just over $20. It just amazes me that anybody would buy this at at $15, it's way overpriced.
Well, there we go, kids.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm switching back to my cerveza. But do you mind if I go to the scroll? I know we are way over.
Yeah,
our-
we're
No,
way
we're
over
only
time.
4
We're way
minutes.
over time. Come on.
We're 4 minutes.
So I want to go back to our scroll. G Money said he is smoking his first Andalusian bowl this evening.
Amen, brother. G Money, what'd you pay for that cigar? Just curious.
Did you give it to him? No? Okay. We got Joe Lachina. He says,
Oh,
hey,
Joe,
Greg.
what's up, dog?
He's listening from Florida.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. Hey, I hope you coming to the reunion or the pre-reunion. Let me know, man. I'd like to see you. Say hello.
And Phil Weaver was admiring his cabinets on your Whiskey Wizard because what is not to admire?
Exactly.
Lindsay has joined us. She
Lindsay.
says sorry she was late. She had to work tonight. And Cameron just made it as well. So
Yeah,
thanks,
out
West
there.
Coast
Yeah,
representing.
because they
Rich.
don't even get off work before our show starts. So.
Rich is watching the show too. He just sent me a text.
All right,
Hey!
Rich.
Phil Weaver said the Wiz is struggling to swallow.
He wasn't like that
No,
in
that
college.
wasn't, and I wasn't. I wasn't acting. That was
He
real.
wasn't like that in college. Just saying.
Take it like a man, would you?
Ty put himself through school.
All right.
Oh, for the love of Pete. They literally call Fireball cinnamon whiskey. That's what Derek said.
Yes.
That's true.
I don't think it meets the definition. It's a liqueur, but
Rob, he says he's sipping Fireball right now. Really, Rob?
Rob.
Really?
Rob, you're killing me.
Derek says Buffalo Trace products rock. Jim Beam Fire is way better. Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, absolutely.
Kayla, yes, pickle juice chaser. Remember we did that upstairs in the kitchen? I had that.
We did.
That was really, really good.
She likes her picklebacks. That's the only way she drinks.
We're doing the Bloody Mary bar for Easter. We have people coming over. That'll be a great time. Can't wait.
Yeah, that sounds fun. We're going to be down in Nashville with Kayla and Lindsay having a lot of fun.
Are you gonna?
My
When are you going to
cousin's
see
gonna
Jennifer?
come- Huh?
When are you going to see Jennifer?
On the way home, we're
Okay,
stopping.
so
we're
make
gonna
sure-
see Jennifer.
Make sure. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you that box today.
Yeah, we'll do it today,
so she
we
has
don't-
her stuff.
so we don't forget, and we'll
Alright.
take those to see her. She's not on the scroll tonight.
I know
must
she's
be-
got something going on.
She must be tied up, but yeah.
Yeah, man.
Derek says, Big G, when you bought this stuff, did you tell your contact at the liquor store that you were trying to unplug the shitter?
That's too good for it.
Derek, you know me so well.
Oh man. All right.
Oh, okay, quick. There is Rich. He said maybe the corn they used to make it came from the outhouse. Lauren says it's a real stinker.
Yes. Absolutely.
Jose
Well, hey.
loves our faces. Fret Party Harry Buffalo. Why are y'all
Yeah.
hating on my favorite candies?
Oh, my
Sorry.
goodness.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot. This was a really fun evening.
Yeah.
It was fun, and again,
At our expense.
I always say, you know, we sometimes change up the show a little bit, and we usually have a better show than this, but it was still fun.
Well, I hope they all enjoyed it. I really appreciate everybody joining us tonight
Yeah, it was
for
fun.
this. Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, I see that stuff on the bottom shelf, and I've always wondered how bad is it? And
Now
well,
you
we
know.
know.
Now you
We know.
know.
Yes, absolutely.
That's why I'm top shelf.
There we go. So I want to, thanks for all of you guys for watching, and just remember that if you do miss the show, you know, please please watch it at a time that's convenient after we air. You know, it's your views that help keep this whole thing going, and subscribe to our YouTube page and all that if you haven't. And we end tonight with our closing quote.
And who's this coming from?
This is coming from Atticus Finch, who was a character played by Gregory Peck.
This
In
guy
the-
right here?
You know it's
Yes,
good if it's got
and the
Gregory in the
movie To Kill a Mockingbird.
He was pretty hot back then. Look at
Yeah.
that.
And he said, in his quote was, "I feel like girls who drink whiskey make the best company."
Here, here.
Yeah,
Here, here,
yeah.
All right, you guys, thank
All right.
you for joining us
All right.
tonight.
Oh,
We had
this
a
is
great
some
evening.
real whiskey. I got my glass, and I'm so grateful.
I'm gonna close this out. Joe, hey, in Florida, Lucina, listen, I haven't seen you in years. Can't wait to see you. I appreciate you watching the show. Watch some of our past shows. We have great shows besides today.
Well, we've drank some great whiskey. This was a great show. It's just
Yeah.
we had
Yeah,
some
but
pretty crappy whiskey.
We do appreciate everybody that watches the show, and we always have
Yeah.
a lot of fun, and the scroll is always great. Everybody's got great comments. So I'm going to take us out. Be safe. Have a great weekend. God bless. We are the Whiskey Roundtable. Big G.
Karen Helen Keller.
Doug Dunbar,
All right,
thankful
kids.
for all you guys. We'll see you
Thank
next
you
time.
very much. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
If whiskey stopped working, every bar in town would be closing their doors, shutting down. Everybody would be trapped with their thoughts, 'cause nothing numbs the pain like bourbon or scotch. Oh no, oh no, no. If whiskey stopped working, working, where the hell would I be? Probably wasting lots of money trying therapy. If whiskey stopped working, what the hell would I do? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be over you. If whiskey stopped working, 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 if whiskey stopped. Poor Jack D would be out of a job. Jameson and Bean would be cut off. Hank Williams songs wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, this whole damn world would be a mess. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. If whiskey stopped working, where the hell would I be? Probably wasting lots of money trying therapy. If whiskey stopped working, what the hell would I do? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be over you. If whiskey stopped working, 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 where the hell would I be? Probably halfway out of this town, leaving Tennessee.